Hey guys, I've reached another landmark on YouTube so far. It's reaching 2,000 subscribers. It's occurred in less than 6 months' time, and what I'd like to do in this video is provide an update to the future of the channel and some projects I have planned for the future. So as you see, I've finished a couple more models since the last video update, those being mostly the E100 Stug and the M4 Sherman. Another model that I'm really proud of that I recently finished is this Academy Tiger 1 early with an interior. I fabricated a couple components for it, such as the bars that run beneath the torsion bars and the ammunition storage in the hull. It was converted into a cutaway model. This was done with a Dremel. I'm pleased with how the paint turned out on the model, as there's a lot of fine intricate pieces such as the displays on the dash for the control readouts. The M4 Sherman Crab was one of my favorite models to have built. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It has a couple small flaws, but this is brought on because of the mechanism that drives the linear actuators on either side of the flail. The model has been disassembled and reassembled as it is now for creating instructions. I took about 300 or so photos of the insides of the model, piece by piece, of different components, and I will try to replicate instructions for the model in the future. It may take some time, as it is a long and tedious process to replicate it in a 3D building software such as Ldraw. Next thing, I've recently, 2 months ago, I got a new computer for college, and this allows me to use the new iMovie for editing, and I also have World of Tanks and War Thunder and a couple other things on it. If you go to soriel.pl, you can go down past his MOCs and go down to his tools and the model scaler. This is basically a simple program that converts pixel measurements into any measurement you want within studs. Basically, it scales from pixels to studs with a ratio. So say I want to take this image of a Hellcat, M18 Hellcat tank destroyer. Just copy that, and then I can just go over here and paste it, and then load the image, and fit image to width of canvas, as it's easier to work with a larger image. So I'd suggest when you're looking for blueprints, large images are usually better. And make sure it's the image file ends in, as you can see right here, it says .png or .jpeg. So say I want to use the road wheel. I already know the piece I want to use for it, which should be a wedge belt wheel. So what I can do is I can go down here and I can draw a line across the road wheel's diameter, which is 65 pixels. And I can type in the road wheel size, which is roughly 3.8 studs. And then I can take this and basically I can draw anywhere on the blueprint, and it will give me a scale dimension. So basically what I would suggest doing for anyone who's starting out with models is I would first use either road wheels or tracks for scaling your model, as these pieces are sort of fixed dimensions and you're sort of limited with your options. So for basic dimensions, I usually use a road wheel. The spacing between road wheels is kind of crucial. Length, width of the model, barrel length, height of the upper hull roof from the sponsons, front sprocket or rear sprocket are usually an idler wheel, as the idler wheels are about the same size as the regular road wheels, and the front sprocket is sort of a fixed dimension. It'll probably be a 40-tooth gear. So basically, from this tool, you can use it to find any dimension you want in your model, and it's useful. So I suggest anyone who's wondered how I've got my model scaled, this is a good tool for it. Some may know I have college coming up this fall, so basically this will mean that the channel will be sort of quiet and there won't be any models being built until next summer, probably at the earliest. And so what I'd like to do is show some of the models I've scaled with blueprints, and some of the components I've made in Ldraw for the models. So here's a couple that I've, basically this is an entire file of most of the vehicles I've made, of blueprints of them. As I had plans to build a Matilda black print, but I never got around to it as the suspension was, it's compact and sort of complex. I didn't want to use a simple bogie suspension, as there's bogies, but they're suspended further in the vehicle. And basically this blueprint was created by merging a Cromwell with a Matilda. Another large model I want to work on, which would be a E100, as the last one I built was, I was sort of limited on tracks, and this will be really far down the road, as I need to purchase 8 by diameter inverted dishes for the road wheels, and I also need to make custom tracks, which will be requiring a lot of pieces, and right now I just don't have the funds nor the time to do it. I never got around to building a Tiger 2, but someday hopefully it'll happen, as the tracks are, again, they're 6 studs wide at least. These are of existing models like my T28 and my Renault. I do have plans to convert my Sherman Crab into a Easy 8 configuration, and possibly do that entirely in dark bluish gray, as right now I don't have the pieces for that, but after the instructions hopefully I can obtain the pieces and try to build a Fury variant of it with the crew in it. The mouse is also another model I'd like to, a super heavy model that'll be hopefully coming within a couple summers. I'm not sure right now, as I still have quite a few models that I want to build, like a Panther. I want to build a improved version of that with my GW Tiger's suspension, as my other one's slightly too long and the turret's not correct. The mouse too, with that will be using custom pieces for the tracks, as the tracks will be at least 9 studs wide. I did have plans to do a Valentine, either a bridge layer or just a traditional Valentine tank. I had wedge belt wheels here, and then there's the slightly smaller rubber, I think it's 18 by, well, they're probably about 3 studs in diameter, but I never got around to that. I did have plans, and I also do have plans to hopefully next summer build a Panzer IV, either just a traditional Panzer IV, or also do some of the variants such as a Kugelblitz. Another super heavy model would be a T35, which that again requires a lot of pieces to build in its own, because the road wheels, I have yet to figure out those. Then again, here's the Panther. Like to build its it'll be. I enjoyed my Panther I built before, as it was a rapid, large model that was basically relatively quick and powerful for having a 1-to-1 ratio with XL motors to the front sprockets. Models that I've shown that I've on the blueprints, I've created a couple of the components for them, those being of the mouse and the Panzer IV. So if I open up Bricksmith, which is a 3D design tool that uses Ldraw format as opposed to the LXF format for Lego Digital Designer, my instructions are made in Bricksmith, so they use that Ldraw format. So to open them, you'll need a tool using that. So start off with the mouse driveline, which consists of 6 XL motors, and they're meshed to this main drive shaft for either sprocket, which have a robust knob gear design, and there'll be a 5-to-1 reduction off of these main axles, and this will provide plenty of torque for the entire model and be within the 10 stud wide space of the mouse, between the tracks, that is. And here's the traverse mechanism for the turret. It's also designed to be robust, as there'll be a large turret that'll be heavy on it. There's 2 8-tooth gears on the main turntable, which will provide more contact than a single 8-tooth gear, and therefore hopefully lessen the strain on a single gear. I've also worked on a Panzer IV suspension system I've made. I attempted to make it more complex than just simply using a bogey system and replicate the actual suspension on the model, as it doesn't use torsion bars, but it does use leaf springs to suspend each individual swing arm on the model, or on the actual vehicle. So basically what you're looking at right now is a differential I designed for a large subtractor adder for a, I'm not sure exactly the scale of the model, but it will be for a Tiger 1 that will use 8 stud wide dishes for the road wheels, and I hope to power this model with a LPE or Lego pneumatic engine. And basically my plans are to use these in the subtractor and have a transmission built into it similar to the actual vehicle.